Speert. I'm a board-certified and registered art therapist, and I'm director of the retreat center here, the California Center for Creative Renewal. But I wasn't always an art therapist. My first career was as a school teacher, and I was always delighted by the creativity of the children that I taught. I wondered, why aren't adults doing this? So I decided to go back to graduate school, become an art therapist, so I could design playgrounds for adults. And here I've lived my dream. So since the 1970s, I've been practicing art therapy. First, I practiced in a psychiatric hospital, and then at 2 residential treatment centers. Finally, in 1980, I was able to start establishing this retreat center. I also taught and directed 2 postgraduate art therapy programs at UCSD and also at National University, and I directed an expressive arts therapies program for therapists. My practice here at the center has a wide range of participants. I've worked with everyone from international survivors of torture to top corporate executives. I've also had the privilege of leading retreats and groups for spiritual communities and all of their participants and leaders to the top management of a military base here in the U.S. Despite the diversity of all of these different populations, I have some basic premises that apply to everyone. The first one is my belief in universal creativity, that everyone has the birthright to be creative, and the art materials return that creativity to them. And the second one is the idea of metaphoric communication, that what we create is a metaphor for what's going on inside. Nature is the biggest mirror that we have. We can find metaphors for every part of the garden and see it connected to whom we are inside. So I use the natural materials and the natural surroundings to both stimulate the senses, especially for those who are depressed, and to soothe those who are anxious. In addition to teaching in the U.S., I've been invited for 10 summers to teach art therapy in Switzerland. And I've also spent the last few years providing workshops and retreats around the world, in Europe, South America, Asia, and North America. It is a great privilege to share what I know and my deep belief in creativity with others. I'd like to invite you into my studio now to see the workshop that I'm proposing for you in Bali. Come on in. I propose the workshop Eco Art Therapy, a journey into life's mirror to see ourselves reflected through art, movement, and poetry. In this workshop, we use multimodal processes to explore ourselves from as many vantage points as possible. We incorporate visual art, making mandalas from nature, and play with the emerging images to deepen our connection to them. We start by first establishing a meditative relationship with nature through guided movement and writing processes I call Interview with Nature. Then we create mandalas using the circle, which reflects the earth and our relationship to it, and embellish it with materials I have gathered from nature. Through constructing art with natural materials, we see many facets of ourselves reflected, and these are free gifts from Mother Earth, thus making them available to everyone. We can find art materials everywhere we look, from stones to seashells, from branches to bird feathers. Everything we find can be a metaphor for what we find inside ourselves. Then we further explore these emerging images through haiku poems and end by returning to movement. My goal is to keep the metaphoric process alive through enhancing our creative immersion. Each art experience is designed to take us deeper into the metaphoric representation of our inner lives. As we all know, nature is not just a place to visit, it is home. I look forward to sharing this with you in Bali.